Hello everybody and welcome to another Top 5 Holiday Board Gaming video. Today's topic is all about great gaming gifts that have been released in 2019. These are critically acclaimed games that pretty much anybody would love to find under their tree, provided that they don't have them already. Essentially what I wanted to do with this particular list is go for games that are a little bit more general consensus type of thing. Nothing that's really too heavy, nothing that's super light, and nothing that is overly ridiculously thematic. But again, things that have gotten a lot of praise from both critics and gamers alike, and all of that kind of stuff. It's a really exciting topic regardless, and as always, I want to hear what you guys have to say. What have been your favorite new releases in 2019? We have had some wonderful ones, and I would love to hear what your personal favorites are. Let me know what they are in the comments below, but with that, we are going to get started with my number 5. At number 5, I've got Wingspan. While it may not be a surprise that the game is on the list, some of you are probably surprised that it is so low. I personally really love this game, but I also take into account the fact that the theme in this game is very heavy. If you have people who really don't care about birds, don't really care about the scientific aspect of this, or anything along those lines, then they might be turned off by it. It is also a little bit heavier compared to some of the other ones on the list, so it might be only for some gamers, but that said, it has by far gotten some of the best critical and gaming acclaim of anything that has been released in 2019. Wingspan, my number 5. At number 4, I've got Asaurus. As its name implies, this is a game that is about drafting and dinosaurs. It's wonderfully light, it's tremendously fun, and it's really easy to pick up and play. It's a bit lower on the list because it is such a light game and it really works more as a filler, but I really love the fact that you have little meeples that you're actually passing around instead of cards or things like that. And the theme itself is kind of fun, where the idea is that you're building a park with a bunch of dinosaurs and trying to attract people to yours as opposed to the other players. Overall, Asaurus, my number 4. At number 3, I've got Ecos, the First Continent. This is a game that really took me by surprise in terms of what the actual theme is, where the idea is that you're essentially rebuilding the world. You're rebuilding the Earth and sort of reimagining where things are going to go, how they're going to get there. And the way that you do that is by combining different resources in the form of elements and putting them onto a grid in front of you, essentially. It's a fascinating game. It has some very interesting mechanics, and it's another one of these where it's not too heavily themed, but I like it that the theme is something that becomes a conversation piece in itself. So it's a really interesting game that is really fun to get to the table. Ecos, the First Continent, my number 3. At number 2, I've got Tiny Towns. This is a game whose mechanics we have seen sort of time and time again. Essentially, we've got a grid, we've got different buildings that give us victory points in different ways, and we have resources that enable us to use the specific buildings. I like this more so than other games of the type because it really streamlines a lot of the gameplay. You're talking about less time at the table, less time for explanation, and more time just diving in and actually playing the game. I think it works really well, and on top of that, there's already an expansion planned out for it, and it looks like it's going to be great. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Tiny Towns, my number 2. At number 1, I've got Parks. There's a lot that can be said about this game, but I'm going to stick with the fact that it looks gorgeous, it acts as a teachable moment, and it's a wonderfully well done family game. In this game, the idea is that you are hiking through national parks in the United States, and so you learn about all the different parks, what they have, what you can see, all of this sort of thing, while at the same time you're just sort of doing various set collection type of mechanics to gather up different things from different areas, taking pictures and all that kind of thing. It's a very similar feel to like Takedo, where it's a very light game overall, but the pure aesthetic and the idea of the game and playing through it is almost a cathartic feeling. It's absolutely wonderful, tremendously well done and well designed. I absolutely love it. Parks, my number 1. Well everybody, that's going to be it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video on my top 5 favorite giftable games from 2019. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is something where I really tried to go as general as possible and kind of be as inclusive as possible as well. For anybody who is shopping for a gamer in your life, you can pretty much bet that they would be happy to have any of these games under the tree, provided that they don't already own them. But once again, as I mentioned before as well, please let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you guys think about 2019 2019 for gaming in general. I would love to hear any and all of your opinions on it. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you haven't done so already, please take a look at my various social media pages as well as my Patreon page. On all of those, you'll be able to interact with myself and my channel in a whole bunch of really cool ways. But with that, thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and happy holidays.